And did it surprise anybody? You know, it's going up against Marc Gasol, with due respect to Sacramento, is a difficult ask by any stretch. And the way that they defended him in Toronto, along with Marc Gasol, was effective on that night. And Sacramento came at Joel, like we spoke about in our pre-game press, and double-teamed him and kind of everybody else as often as they could. And I thought he did a pretty good job of playing out of the post and finding open shooters. I mean, the reality is we missed 2,000, I believe it was, 2002, open threes. And he did a great job of passing. For him to come out the way that he did, it shouldn't surprise anybody.
What was the biggest difference for Matisse tonight versus any other recent game?
I think when he can get his feet set, and he has like proper footwork. We talk about, like, are you a front stepper or a side stepper corners, front stepper quadrants, and like he looked like his shoulders were over his waist was over his feet. He had proper footwork into his shot, and it looked good. You know, it really looked balanced. And then he was getting deflections and steals, and, you know, I'm sure felt good about his defense that you would think carried on to the confidence in his shot. But I thought fundamentally, just like judging it, he looked proper. He looked fundamentally correct and balanced. And he made them. And we needed every one of them.
What gave you the confidence to have him in there in crunch time?
I mean, when all of a sudden Jay Rich is not available, and I went with Ferk, and that wasn't going so well initially, and so I came in with Matisse quite quickly. And athletically, and why not, and who's available, and let's see, for all those reasons, I decided to go with Matisse. And I think that he's growing as a reliable defensive player. When you go into that team and you're looking at all those shooters, and Matisse is still learning on how to be a disciplined defensive player and understand where Buddy Hield is, and Bogdanovich, and, Harrison Barnes. Those are great shooters. Increasingly, like, you got to have that knowledge in the NBA of who's on the court and the confidence of the coach that they're going to follow a game plan. And I think I'm seeing slowly, like, him understand, like, when he sort of irritates sort of my tolerance level, it's always a defensive wild card, and I think he's getting better, and he made shots.
The turnovers kind of seem like they come in bunches. Like in the second quarter there, you look like you're pretty well in control of the game, and all of a sudden it's like a dogfight.
And so there was a stage where I think there were 16 possessions, and 8 of them were turnovers. And like the other bit was there was a tilt in offensive rebounds. And you start throwing the ball away and you get putbacks, I think you're going to look at a stat sheet and see, well, they probably had 10 to 12 more shots than we did for those two reasons. And I think that our defense has been good. It is our backbone, it's our rudder, and it keeps us straight. But, like, life sure would be a hell of a lot easier if you can make some threes and you didn't throw the ball away. It's kind of that simple.
Right, if you had theoretically like 24 hours of real practice time where you're going to work on nothing but turnovers, fixing the turnover problem, what is there one thing specifically that you would start with, or one area you would attack to kind of bring that problem down?
There isn't, and because it's easy and it's true. Like, you can say turnover, and you've heard me give this coach speak, but I'll give it again. My Christmas turnover coach speak, Thanksgiving turnover coach speak. It comes in, like, fundamentals, like on did you step out of bounds and back step? Did you not come to jump stops? There's a fundamental category you can look at. I can talk about one of the plays where it should have been forearm and fist, where Joel Embiid just goes like and holds somebody off and creates a proper lead and not releases so the defense comes in. And so, like, there's an execution component, there's a fundamental component. There's Joel Embiid ducking in and getting a 3-second call that I'm actually not unhappy with. And so you can put them in different species, but to, like, anoint a bucket, I can't. The ones that disturb me the most are always stuff that's fundamentally driven. There's some stuff, like, you can't even put it into one of those categories, and it's like, it's in the "are you kidding me" basket. And, you know, the fundamentals, like the discipline of fundamentals, that stuff is the one that is haunting.
That continuity plays in that though, Brett. As guys get to know each other, obviously that cuts down. So what do you, that continuity, how much does that play into it?
I think it plays into it a lot. And really, like if you look at our team and you look at the skill package of our players, and we have been privileged to have, like, you know, the Irsans and the Darios and the Bellinet. Like, we've had some pretty elite, gifted passes. And this team is designed, you know, in a different way. And it's part of, to your point, you can get more comfortable with continuity that can camouflage some, you know, it's not, I don't think that we have a flock of elite passers right now. We have to grow that, I think, through continuity and familiarity. And I'm hoping through time we can do that.
Do you preach that to them? You come from San Antonio, you know how big continuity is. Do you preach, hey, listen, just give it time?
Oh, I do, but I would be lying if all of a sudden we came in from day one and said, I know exactly what to do with the offense. Because we're learning, we're all learning. And I'm trying to, like, take what we've learned and morph it into a very unique team. This is not a traditional team with, like, a, you know, a stretch four and 3 flyers and a point guard and a center. It's not. We're really, really big, and I think growing the team where you can help them score or feel more comfortable in an environment is most on my mind. I like our defense. I've said as many times as people will listen that our offense is going to take till Christmas.
Sellouts, you've been here when it was probably nobody up there. Guys, people coming down in the stands, but 101 sellouts now. What has your fan base shown you over the last couple of years?
It's amazing to me because and I've said this a lot also, when we travel, I purposefully go down the bench and I point to the crowd and I remind our team of how lucky we are to play in this city, where there are no pockets of empty seats. And not only aren't there pockets of empty seats, there is rabid, passionate, vocal fans that say whatever they want. And it's Philly. And so to look out there and to feel like the home crowd, and whether they're booing or whether they're cheering, like, you feel the crowd. And what are we, 8-0 at home or something? Yeah, and you know, there's a reason for that. They deserve credit. And to look back at the history and all that type of good stuff that we all know, that volume of sellouts by any standard is impressive, and they deserve credit, because it wasn't like, you know, in the earlier days that we were, you know, considered to be maybe as good as we are now. And we still got a hell of a lot of work to do.
How does it feel to go 8-0 at home now?
Well, we need it, you know, like we're trying to figure out stuff on the road, and you need that. And we love playing at home. We love protecting our home court. We understand completely that this crowd respects, appreciates, and pays for effort. And for the most part, I think that we give it. And I hope that they feel the same.
2 more guys.
You went with Howell tonight as backup point guard. What goes into your nightly decision of night tonight? You're going to go with Howell or Trey?
I mean, some of it's gut feel. Some of it's the notion I don't want one of my players to rot. I want to keep them alive. Some of it, for sure, is matchups. And I'd say if you had to weight what I just said, it would be tilted more to, like, how are we going to win? Like, where are we best suited to win? And, you know, it's judged on all those types of things. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.